everyone, this is Lauren and Ron bringing you this week's Ask Ron.
That's Lauren, I'm Ron.
Go figure. Okay, the first question comes from Ronaldo Postigo. He's from San Francisco, California.
Got it.
It says, Ron, I would like to know if you can double closings on REOs.
Can you do double closing?
Can you do double closings on REOs?
Okay.
Also, how much is it to cost to pay for the closing costs on a subject deal in California?
Subject to deal.
Subject to.
All right, well, that's two different questions totally.
Mm-hmm.
Doing double closings, I don't know what you consider a double closing, but what that really is means you take title to the property and then you sell it to your buyer. So you do have two closings, thus the term double closing. Of course you can do that in California. You can do that in any place, but that does mean you're going to need the money to buy it so that you can then resell it. Now, if you're buying bank-owned properties, there are some with restrictions like Fannie Mae properties, for example, where they put a deed restriction on your deed that you have to wait 90 days before you can sell the property. That would be the only thing that I could think of that would stop you from doing a double closing. Remember now, don't get double closing confused with simultaneous closing, where you're simply just assigning your property to your buyer and they're closing. Double closing means you got to go and probably have the money there to buy it and then resell it. And I don't know California rules. You should be having this conversation with your attorney, frankly.
Okay. Next one comes from Quentin Freeman.
Clinton is from?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, okay.
Hi, Ron.
I used to play the state fair there, Clinton, way back in the late 70s with the James E. Strait Show. It was one of the best fairs of the year.
I bet you'd love to know that.
Yeah.
He says, hi Ron, when working with free and clear homes, why exactly do you have some sellers refinance when structuring a seller finance deal?
Well, I don't necessarily have them refinance. It's them that we give that option to if they want a bunch of money out of the deal. So in other words, if I run across a free and clear house and they want a bunch of cash, like most of it, we could suggest to them, well, you go refinance, take all the cash, and then we'll either take over your debt or lease option it or whatever. And sometimes now, we suggest that they refinance if their payments are too high so we can get their payment reduced so that we can take it over. That's the only two times when I can think of that we'd even bring that subject up.
Okay. This question comes from John Murrow from upstate South Carolina.
Upstate South Carolina, okay.
My question is, does a sandwich lease or any type of leasing to a tenant buyer trigger the commercial rate from the residential rate when it comes to the county property taxes?
All right, stop. John, a lease option does not get recorded on public records. It can't trigger anything. It doesn't trigger the due on sale. It doesn't trigger anything. It doesn't change taxes any way, shape, or form because nobody even knows about it but you and the seller. So the answer is absolutely not.
That was quick. Okay. Scott Cooper from Fort Myers, Florida.
Hi, Scott.
Ron, down here in Southwest Florida, we do have a lot of issues with Chinese drywall.
Chinese drywall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you buy homes with Chinese drywall, or do you steer clear from them?
Well, to tell you the truth, Scott, I don't know because I never have it checked. If I'm taking title to a property that I'm paying cash for from the bank, to be honest with you, I'm buying it so cheap that if I did get the inclination, some bug hit me or something and made me want to rehab it, I wouldn't care because I'm buying it so cheap. If I had to rip out the drywall, I mean, it wouldn't affect my deal that much. But to be honest, I don't check them. When I'm doing pretty houses that we're doing axe deals on, we don't check any of that stuff. No reason to. We're not renovating the property. We take it like it is, we sell it like it is, and that's the way it goes. When I'm doing long-term sandwich lease option deals, I don't check to see if it's got Chinese drywall, so you have to use your own judgment on that. It's just not something we think about.
Okay. Next one comes from Scott Burton.
Scott Burton.
And
Where's Scott from?
Scott does not tell us where he's from.
Okay, that's a no-no, Scott. Gotta know where you're from.
It says, hey Ron, I've gone through several systems, pretty house, ugly house, foreclosure fortunes. I'm trying to get a reasonable figure on starting costs for the first 2 or 3 months. For example, VAs, Pat Live, Yellow Letter, phone numbers, fax, etc., etc.
Oh, come on, Scott. You've gone through all my systems and you got to ask me what starting costs are? Come on. So you better go through them again, man. because they're all step by step. All right, here's the deal. You're doing pretty houses, you have no cost other than a VA, and if you can't afford to get Elsa to get you a VA, which is $495.30 a minute, then you can call the FSBOs yourself. So what's the cost? Nothing. And when you're selling, same thing. You put ads on the internet for free. So there are no cost to speak of to get started, and pretty much after you've gotten started. You want to send out yellow letters, that's a cost, but you don't need to do that. You probably get all the deals you want just calling FSBOs.
He has 2 more questions.
All right?
He says, how can I utilize the web to locate prospects for buying and selling?
Well, Scott, that's the way we locate prospects for buying and selling. We utilize the web. The answer is, when I'm buying, I want to set up a little cheap website. You can do that on WordPress.org, and tell people that you buy houses and put the buyer's information to build your buyer's. Put the information that you want the seller to go to tell you that they have a house for sale, which is your property information sheet. Okay, right on your Gold Club site. Take that and put it on a simple website. And then you just simply go to all of the houses or the sites where people advertise houses for sale, or any other free site that you can think of, and run your ad and say, I buy houses, even if you're over leveraged, and let them go to your site, and you capture them that way. I will tell you that you really do need to add a VA calling FSBO ads online and off to it, because that will ensure you get a bunch of leads. The amount of leads you get from sellers on your site will solely hinge on the amount of traffic you drive to your site. And by the way, we just taped a great all-day affiliate training last week, which will be available to you guys pretty soon. And it was all about driving traffic. That's really what it was about. And it applies to any kind of traffic. So make sure you get that when it comes out. It'll be really, really cheap and really killer information. I mean, they did a great job in that all-day affiliate training. As far as selling houses, same thing. Set up a page with your house on it on Craigslist or Postlets, and put ads on Craigslist and all the other free sites, drive them to that page. So that's how you use the web. And of course you put the pictures of the house on that ad. So it's really, today, there's really not much work doing buying or selling. I usually actually had to work when I was doing it back in the 80s.
Back in the day.
Myself, yeah. Back in the day, yeah. Yeah.
Last question comes from Scott. He says, I have a few good leads from sellers, mostly of mobile homes, but that's all so far. I'm looking to crank up my buyers list and sellers list. Can you tell me the best ways to do this, mostly focusing on buyers? Also, can you give me a 90-day estimate of cost on these?
Actually, I just did that.
Yeah,
I just answered that question.
Same question, Scott.
It's the same question, and all you got to do is get some ads online to all the free places, drive them to whatever page you want them to go to, and well, you're done. And if you're attracting a lot of buyers for mobile homes, that means you're advertising for buyers for mobile homes. Somewhere in there, they're getting the message that's what you're selling, or you wouldn't be getting those calls. Okay?
That concludes our questions for this week.
Alrighty, see you guys next week.
Bye.